But yeah, that's
plus, like, I know when we used to play like 4-player, but Loose Alliances is a game mode you can play, and you can play that with Commander. And then you have allies.
Yeah. What is it? Your players to your left and right.
Yeah, it's 5-player. Players to your left and right are your allies, effectively.
Yeah.
You win the game if the players, like, across the table from you.
It's a 5-player mode, right?
Yeah. So each one of the players that is on your left and right have one opponent of yours that they also want to see dead.
Yeah, and one that they want to keep alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an interesting, like, game mode for Magic.
Yeah. Oh, and then, since enchantments are a big thing in this deck, I found a second card that can copy enchantments beyond just copy enchantment. So now I can play 9 lives on someone, and then...
Yeah, I think there's quite a few cards that can copy enchantments.
Well, it's just a 3 mana can copy an artifact or enchantment. I didn't need too many of them, but I like this one because it was printed recently and is therefore not expensive, and just is an enchantment.
You too.
I don't think that really matters, but you know, just being able to drop another copy enchantment. Or not, being able to drop another 9 lives and then hand that to someone is good. Oh, and I did give myself a Paradox Haze in this deck because, you know, Paradox Haze.
How about it, Laffy said? Picking up on anything?
Yeah, in the direction of the temple.
That's Zedru.
The feeling's getting stronger now.
Don't waste my time.
Oh, probably the most radical change I made to any of my decks. You remember my Krufix deck, right?
Yeah.
Just sea monster theme, just because Krufix lets you keep excess mana.
Yeah.
Well, I actually swapped the commander on that one.
There are none who can resist my...
Because there was a card printed recently. I don't know if you probably haven't been keeping up with the Magic story.
No.
Okay, well, basically something similar to the Mending happened again. And a lot of Planeswalkers aren't Planeswalkers anymore. That's the short version. One of them being Kiora.
Oh, nice.
And so the new Kiora card is now my commander for this deck.
Makes sense that she'd be good for that deck.
Yeah, wait till you hear the ability. So 3 green blue for a 4/5 vigilance, ward 3. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X cards of your library. For X is that spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order.
Nice.
So it's better Cascade. So, you know. That's what I went with. Quite a few good monsters in the sea monster category were made since I first made this deck. So there's that. And aside from that, no, it's kind of the same deck, although a few cards were removed because I don't need giant amounts of colorless mana anymore. You know? Direfo again. Oh, it's the bug again.
Huh.
So it can just happen randomly.
I guess.
I guess so.
Okay, come on. get rid of this.
Yeah.
He's losing so much health so fast.
Yeah. But Krufix does still help with the deck, so he's still in there. No reason to get rid of him, but yeah, that's the deck. It's just drop big sea creatures. And then they There was a little bit of sea monster support with some more recent cards. Was it Displacement Wave? Nope, that's an older one. What card?
Wounds that won't heal. Carve into flesh. Lethal pain.
I don't know. Maybe it was just some creatures.
That was a considerably powerful enemy.
83 grade.
That's a lot of grade. That's a lot of grade. Item free victory over
powerful foe.
Wow. It's because you play this game good.
Well, that one in particular, I did really well on.
Oh, there it is. No, that's not that old either. Or that's not that new either. What card?
It's got to be based on grade because so many people mastered something.
Oh, yeah, probably.
It just we can't really.
It's
find
not
the
a
exact
one-to-one.
correlation is all.
Yeah, it's not one-to-one grid point.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it was just. Oh, that's right. That's what it was. It was creatures that care about sea monsters. The Serpent of Yawning Depths is perhaps one of the best cards you could shove in this deck. 6 mana, 6/6, serpent, enchantment creature, whatever. Krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents you control can't be blocked except by krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents.
Nice.
That's the one. That's the one right there. That just makes the entire deck function as giant threatening creatures that you can't do anything about. Oh, right. Also spawning Kraken. Spawning Kraken's ridiculous. 6 mana for a 6/6 Kraken. Whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 9/9 blue Kraken creature token. It just...
Kraken.
Yeah, sea monsters. Love it. Wait, what? Oh, that's... Yeah, that's not Kiora. That's is also in the deck. Why not? I like that I have a bunch of sea monsters and then a bear. Just because it's Goreclaw, Terror of Kalsisma. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast. He's a
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's not it. That's not completely it. Whenever Goreclaw, Terror of Kalsisma attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and trample on turn. That's right.
Trample is pretty huge.
Yes. That's the other thing. That's why that's in. I think I replaced... Nope, Croson Drover's still in there, but it could have just replaced it. It's the same mana cost, better reduction.
What's this?
But that door has a 7-sided star on it.
Oh my goodness. What could it mean?
A demon!
The demon we heard about? Sounds like it's having fun.
Then we'll use this distraction.
Yeah, that's that.
Wow, look outside! It's the ocean! This was a place of worship for Aminoch, the Water Empyrean. The ancients built this sanctuary underwater for the same reason that Eumasia's temples were built underground. But building this underwater couldn't have been easy.
Aye. With the Earth temples, all they had to do was keep digging. Here, they had water to contend with.
How did they do it? You can't split the sea like you can a log.
They started by stacking giant stone blocks in the shallows, creating an enclosed space. Then they drained the water and expanded the enclosure. Once they had done that enough times and secured enough dry space, they were able to dig into the sea floor.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
The humans believed that by going through such great hardships to build these temples, they could show the depth of their devotion.
Additionally, current research suggests the site of this temple once sat on the seacoast.
What? Are you saying I'm wrong?
No, I'm only reporting what I've read in academic journals.
How would coastal ruins sink into the ocean?
When the Empyreans began their slumber, the land shifted, and this temple was swallowed by the sea. Scholars were able to prove that the sand and the heavy stones formed an airtight seal around the structure. Later, people carved an undersea tunnel to connect to the temple, bringing it to its current state.
Now that you mention it, I think I read that book too. Revised Theories on Ancient Architecture, right?
That's the one. Have you read it, Aizen?
No, I only read the first edition.
The problem with the stone enclosure theory is that each time you expand the enclosure, the innermost stones have to be carried out. Once that was pointed out as being too inefficient, alternate theories were developed. The revised edition has a number of competing theories. I highly recommend reading it.
I will then.
So, wait, was that a complete rebuttal of Aizen's explanation?
That was not my intention.
It's okay. Archaeology is a continuous process of asking new questions and making new discoveries. Prevailing theories change all the time.
What's it matter anyway? Let's just get going. There's no Empyrean here, right, Aizen?
If you're worried about it, why not flip that coin of his? Heads, no Empyrean. Tails, Empyrean Central.
But it always comes up tails.
Like I said before, these temples are nothing more than places of worship built by human hands. The current religion started when humans, fearful of natural forces, began to worship four gods they called the Empyreans. If you're concerned about whether or not one is sleeping in these ruins, just remember that their very existence is only legend.
Be that as it may, Inominat certainly exists.
Aye. But I've never heard a single story of anyone actually seeing an Empyrean. Inominat must be a special case then.
Must be.
I suppose so. If there were 4 more like him, and they were all trying to stop us, we'd be sunk.
I can't disagree.
The next deck I want to talk about is my Nethroi deck, which I don't think you've fought against. It's one of the newer ones. But
I'm ready for this.
it's a graveyard-based deck that cares about mutate.
Okay.
So whenever you mutate Nethroi, you return from your graveyard to the battlefield, creatures totaling up to 10 power. So the deck kind of has to balance mutate cards to trigger Nethroi and cards with good ETB or death effects that you don't want to mutate. So it's an interesting balancing act. A card was printed recently that is stupid. It's completely stupid. It's dumb, and I love it. It's called Scourge of the Skyclaves. 1 in a black, demon, has kicker of 5, 4 in a black, who cares? When you cast this spell that was kicked, each player loses half their life rounded up. Never gonna get kicked. Scourge of the Skyclaves, power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players.
Okay.
Now, why would I want that? 20 minus
I mean,
the
you
highest
can
life
enter
total.
the battlefield and leave the battlefield with the...
What? No. It'll do that, but no, that's not why I want it. So if the highest life total among players is 40, what is Scourge of the Skyclaves' power?
Negative 20,
Negative 20.
Refuse to fall here.
which is 0.
No. It's negative 20.
Is it?
On the battlefield, it's 0. But guess where it isn't 0?
Oh, okay.
In the graveyard.
Take a look at this.
Amazing.
So if an opponent has 40 life and Scourge of the Skyclaves is in my graveyard and I choose it with Nethroi's ability, I get 30 power worth of creatures. Math is fun.
Forget the name of my graveyard commander.
You have a Malira, right?
I forget her name.
The
one
experience
with
counter-based one.
counters.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not Malira. What's it? Ugh. Alright, now I have to help you out. I must find it.
Everyone ready to play?
Marin! Marin of Clan Telmoth, or whatever it's called.
You're not hurt, are you?
Yeah,
No.
Still one of my
I'm
favorite
fine.
decks.
it's a good one. Good one.
Like having a deck of 40 creatures,
Yeah,
and most of them are just spells.
that is also Nethroi. Nethroi has 30. My Nethroi has 39 creatures. Just because that's all it cares about. So I mean, there's
How? Now let me ask you a question. Does Nethroi go to the graveyard or the command zone?
Nethroi does not go to the graveyard. There is a
'Cause-
different. There's a different. I forget. I think it's the Ab. No, this is the Abzan. Is it the? It could be the Sultai. It could be the Sultai. In when Ikoria was the new set, I think they printed a bunch of mutate commanders. One of them has you may use the mutate ability from the graveyard. But this one does not. So I never
One
want.
of the advantages to Mirren is just like, oh yeah, just go to the graveyard. There's plenty of stuff to get you out of there.
Did you
Yeah.
see my complete and utter victory? Did you?
What deck? Yeah, there's only. Yeah, I do have a deck. It's also Golgari colored. But Skullbriar is the one where I'm like, yeah, go to the graveyard. You can. For this, you don't want Nethroi to go.
Yeah.
Even if the mutate ability on Nethroi is expensive. But you can always just mutate onto Nethroi rather than use Nethroi to mutate. But still. I do need to if Nethroi does die, I want to be able to get back the cool mutate targets from the graveyard, and that can be tough, but you know. But yeah, in the deck, there's a bunch of like Scourge of the Skyclaves is probably the best add for the deck, but like a bunch of the cards, a bunch of the cool creatures just have 0 power, right? So
Yeah.
they're just free. Oh, maybe I should put that in this deck. There's a creature, Temur Saber Claw or something like that, which is 1 and a green. Return another creature you control to its owner's hand, and give the activating creature, the Temur Saber Claw, indestructible till end of turn. If I can reanimate some mutate targets and then bounce them, then I can recast them as a mutate instead. I don't know. I think the deck is okay as it is. I'll just have to play it a bit to see if it needs that adjustment. But that would just be 1 card. So.
Remake. Oh my god. Chandelier of Cat Souls.
Yeah, not much more to say about this one. What got a huge overhaul? Oh, it's not a huge overhaul, but I did the upgrades to my Yidris deck are pretty good. That's my Cascade / Wheel deck. One of the creatures that I added is called Apex Devastator, and you're gonna love this. It's 8 green for a 10/10, but that's the 10/10 part is irrelevant. We're about to get into a fight, so it'll wait.
Well,
Have to wait.
Yeah, it's about
it
to be
wiped out the
cutscene.
security for us, but
Oh, hello. You're the priest, aren't you?
Well, look at that. Wolfie's got the crest of Aminoch, the same pendant worn by priestesses.
Then that makes this demon.
Yeah, she must be the missing mother, Mahina.
Can't be.
Don't just stand there. It's gonna eat you.
I know that.
So yeah, Apex Devastator. Any guesses on? Nah, you know, there's no way I can guess a card based off of the name. Its ability is Cascade, 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 Cascade.
Nice.
And that's it.
Because Yidris was already Cascade.
Well, it's just Cascade.
Is it not Cascade?
It just gives one Cascade. However, I can put a Fire Shrieker on Yidris. And there's another card in the deck that gives anything with CMC 6 or higher Cascade. So, in theory,
I must just be thinking of something else.
perhaps. Oh, there's.
To think a priestess, beloved by her village.
I also have Maelstrom
Become a
Wanderer, which
demon.
just has Cascade.
Eleanor?
That's what I'm thinking of.
She's never going to be the same again. This is the least I can do for her. So says reason.
Huh? That feeling.
Yeah.
Damn.
let the demon be. We don't need it.
Oh,
Fatigue skills.
sure.
Yeah, cooking level off of that. What? Oh, because you cook after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in theory, I don't remember exactly how many I can get.
That demon. I guess she caught demon blight when she was looking for her daughter.
Yeah, that's what the girl at the inn said.
But even after turning into a demon, she's still searching for her daughter. Well, Rokurok, Korogane, and Dial all remember what they wanted when they were human, right? Demon or not, she's a mother. It's no surprise she would still be protective of her child.
It could be that. Or it could be something else.
Well, I hope that's what it is.
I know that must be how she felt as a human. But demons don't have a sense of motherhood or any such thing. You saw how violent she was. She's not Mahina anymore. When she became a demon, she lost all capacity for empathy and love. It's heartbreaking.
Look,
but it's the
I hate
truth.
to break it to you, Ellen.
Velvet
You're traveling with
Rokuros
2D.
still have empathy.
There it is.
You know
That
better
demon
by
left
now.
unchecked could take 100 lives. And this one's even willing to attack exorcists. Demons can wipe out entire villages, even cities, just as they destroyed my village. Thus, my path is clear.
Eleanor is right. There's no turning back once you've changed. Perhaps it would be a mercy to grant her peace through death.
So many cutscenes.
What makes you ask that all of a sudden?
Well, according to the song Grimm deciphered, Inominat is an 8-headed dragon, right? The Empyreans are supposed to be these holy beings, but using Therians to feed on malevolence sounds more sinister than divine to me.
You've got a point there. Empyreans are a type of Malachim, and that doesn't seem like any Malach we've seen. And even less so when we're talking an 8-headed dragon.
Is it so far-fetched?
What do you think will happen if the Therians come together in one place?
Well, it wouldn't be good. My guess is they'd merge together into a giant, horrific monster. The mighty beast will attack us with its 8 long, snake-like necks and 8 heads spitting hellfire!
I can see your worry.
Right? And that's 8 heads with only 6 of us to take them on. It'd be more than we could handle.
I'd have to conjure up a double or two.
You can do that?
Of course not.
Then why mention it?
Oh!
What is it, Laphicet?
Do you think each head would act of its own free will? Because if they do, they'd be uncoordinated, bumping into each other and going this way and that, giving us an opening. If we fight as one united whole, I know we can win.
Yes! If we work hand in hand, victory is ours. Right, everyone? Huh?
Us? United? Have you looked at us recently? Well, I mean, maybe.
Anyway, long story short, if everything goes correctly, I can get 7 cascades off of Apex
Let's get
Center.
started.
That is all. That's the dream. The dream is to just cast Apex Devastator and have literally all of my win cons fall into place.
Like the dream with my Omnath deck is to have Omnath on the field at the end of turn 2.
Damn it, turn 2.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
really? It won't open. Is there some sort of trick to it?
Well, you could always try busting through it, but I wouldn't. Who knows what sort of traps you might trigger?
I know. Look at that diamond-shaped stone in the door. Haven't we seen that somewhere else?
You're right. It was on the pedestal with that chalice.
That huge thing? You must have some sharp eyes there.
I was more interested in what was inside that chalice.
So, what? That chalice is the key?
Somehow I doubt it'll be that simple. Some stones are colored and some aren't. It must hold some kind of significance.
I think you're right.
Aha, I've frozen you in time. But yeah, another... Just Apex Devastator was one of the big adds to this deck. Averna, the Chaos Bloom, is a really good card for this deck.
You better be ready.
Ridiculous. Has to go in basically every Cascade deck. Green, blue, red for 4-2, whatever, who cares. As you Cascade, you may put a land card from among the exiled cards on the battlefield.
Nice.
Just... It's like, every Cascade is also ramp, potentially. Yes, please.
I hope I did a good job.
I added Kess, Dissident Mage, to the deck, which just says once per turn you can flashback a card from your graveyard. Because, you know, I'm discarding a lot, so it's a good idea. What else did I add to this deck?
It's another one you already have, right?
Huh?
You already have a cast?
I don't already have a Kess.
Really?
Yeah.
Your buyback, flashback, monster, blue-red deck?
Oh, Kess is Grixis colored.
Oh, okay.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, that would go in my Mizzix deck for sure. No, but one of the other, possibly even better than Apex Devastator, is Turgrid, God of Fright. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, irrelevant, or discards a permanent card, very relevant, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Is good.
Stop fooling around.
But I'm serious about my fooling around.